plate umpire,
Hi.
whom I know a little bit, Ron Shuchuk.
See how dark it is? How can you see that?
Well, it's what you have to work with, though. The rest of it's fine. Can't worry about just one little area.
That's helping, buddy.
So I have you on live. I'm gonna check. I do.
For a second straight year, the Big City Saskatchewan rivalry carries into the postseason. Good evening and welcome to Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. I'm Les Lazaruk. It is the Saskatoon Berries playing host to the Regina Red Sox, the defending WCBL champions, in Game 1 of a best-of-3 East Division semifinal series. Last year, these teams played in the East Division final. The home team didn't win a game in the best-of-3. And as a result, it was Regina that won twice on the road here in this park and were able to go on to the final and end up winning the league title. Berries would like to avenge that, obviously, here, starting with Game 1 tonight. Again, back at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, get the home team winning the games, as everybody likes to be able to think that's going to happen. Zachary Landreville is going to be the starting pitcher tonight for the Berries. Of course, he is a latecomer to the team from Saint-Jérôme, Quebec. 6'3", 230-pound right-hander coming off his freshman year at the Academy de Baseball Canada. And he will face Jake Fowler to lead it off. Fowler, the shortstop for the Regina Red Sox. From Los Alamitos, California, coming off his sophomore year at Cerritos College. Landreville takes his sign from Aiden Kilshaw. First pitch swinging on the ground. Salinas bobbles, throws on to first in time for the first out. That was a bang-bang play at first as Fowler, as you would expect from a leadoff man, pretty quick. First pitch at 7:01 on Friday evening. Ron Shuchuk is the crew chief and the home plate umpire tonight. Scott Mills is at first base. Marcus Erlinson is at third base. Here's Ian Montz, the center fielder, who's on fire of late. 10-game hitting streak coming into the postseason. Left-hand hitter. First pitch from Landreville is the changeup in there for a strike. Landreville making his 5th start with the Berries, 4 of them in the regular season. A 1-1 record. Swing and a miss. And Landreville's ahead 2 strikes on Montz. A 5.19 earned run average for Zachary Landreville. 17 1/3 innings pitched. Montz fouls that off towards the left field side, the third base dugout and the bullpen area of the Regina Red Sox. Count holds at 2 strikes. Landreville gave up 19 hits in 17 1/3 innings, 14 runs, 10 earned, struck out 19 and walked 4. He last pitched on the 28th of July against Medicine Hat. Up and in, ball 1, 1-2. Montz didn't join the Red Sox until late June. 327 hitter the rest of the way. Foul off the glove of Kilshaw. Count holds, 1 ball, 2 strikes. In that 10-game hitting streak, Montz is 16 for 37. Well, that didn't work. I did 6 for 37 on my calculator. 16 for 37, that's better. 432. Outside, 2-2. Montz from Lafayette, Louisiana, coming off his senior year at Louisiana State Shreveport. Played the second half of last season with the Red Sox, part of their championship team. Landreville's 2-2 pitch. Change up is a called strike 3. Fans didn't realize it because Ron Shuchuk really wound it up. Unless you're on the diamond, you would have heard him say strike, but in the stands, way away from the diamond, you're waiting, oh, what's the call? That wasn't a ball. Little theatrics from home plate umpire Ron Shuchuk. 2 away. It'll bring up the catcher, Daniel Castellanos. Right-handed hitter facing Zachary Landreville. And there's a pitch on the inside corner for a strike. Landreville throws a fastball that can top 93 miles per hour. 91 to 93 is his range. Throws a slider and a changeup. 1 strike pitch. There's the slider in there for a strike, and quickly up 2 strikes on Castellanos. Castellanos hit 296. during the regular season. 37 hits and 125 at-bats, a home run, 25 runs batted in, and 5 doubles. 2-strike pitch coming up from Launderville. Swing and a miss. Killshaw will apply the tag to finish off the strikeout. Second one of the inning. A 1-2-3 top of the first for Zachary Launderville. A good start for the Berries pitcher and for the Berries in general. No runs, no hits. No Berries errors, nobody left on base after a half inning. Regina nothing, and the Saskatoon Berries coming to bat. You're watching Berries baseball on Flow College.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With 15 locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
Kagan Baker, the ace of the Regina Red Sox pitching staff, on the mound for Game 1 of the best-of-3 East Division semifinal series. Baker, during the regular season, had 6 wins and 2 losses, a 5.37 earned run average. He made 10 starts, including 3 against the Saskatoon Berries. Most recently was his last start on the 2nd of August. A win. He had 6 innings pitched. He allowed 5 hits, 1 run earned, struck out 4, walked 1. The only time he pitched in this ballpark was back on the 6th of July. Only 3 in the 3rd innings, allowed 13 hits, 9 runs all earned, struck out 2 and walked 2. Baker, a big right-hander from Hara, Oklahoma, 6'1", 215 pounds, coming off his junior year at Southwestern Oklahoma State University. Kagan Baker, 53 and 2/3 innings in those 10 starts, allowed 59 hits, 34 runs, 32 of them earned, struck out 62 and walked 20. Baker's 53 and 2/3 innings, 8th most in the league, and 6th in strikeouts with 62. And here's Brock Laird, the Berries shortstop, to lead it off. Laird, and then Ethan Murdoch, the right fielder, and second baseman Giles Salinas to face Kagan Baker, who participated in the All-Star game here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field back in mid-July. Waiting on his first pitch to Brock Laird, and a called strike. Laird hit .344 on the regular season, 77 hits and 224 at-bats, 6 home runs, 42 runs batted in, 13 doubles, 3 triples. Again, a breaking pitch in there for strike 2. And already the fans are upset with home plate umpire Ron Shuchuk. Who would be one of the more respected ones in the league. 2-strike pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. 3-pitch strikeout gets Brock Laird. Up comes right fielder Ethan Murdoch. Murdoch hit .358 during the regular season. 82 hits and 229 at-bats. 14 home runs, 62 runs batted in. 17 doubles as well. In the top 10 in a lot of offensive categories. First pitch from Baker, fastball up high, ball 1. It's the first fastball he's thrown after throwing 3 breaking pitches to Laird to strike him out. Baker kicks, delivers. In there for a strike, 1-1. Defensively for Regina, in the outfield, in right field, it's Alex Rue. Ian Montz in center. Rain Kleklowitz is the left fielder. Swing and a miss on that changeup. 1-2 the count on Murdoch. In the infield at third base is Brady Bye. The shortstop's Jake Fowler. Second baseman is Jalen Myers. And at first base, Carson Cox. Down low. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Ethan Murdoch. The catcher is Daniel Castellanos. And Kagan Baker is the pitcher. 2-2 pitch. On the ground through the right side, a base hit. Murdoch gets the Berries a base runner. It'll bring up Giles Salinas, the regular season batting champion in the WCBL. He had .419 for the summer. 88 hits in 210 at-bats. The 88 hits is second only behind Carter Roth of Medicine Hat. 6 home runs, 60 runs batted in for Salinas. 18 doubles, 1 triple. First pitch swinging, fly ball right field. Rue coming on, makes the catch, and Murdoch will retreat back to first base as there's 2 away. So now Mason Rell, the third baseman, like Murdoch, a veteran of this team from last year, remembers the East Division Final Series, told me after the game on Wednesday in the final game of the regular season that avenging last year was definitely on his mind. From West Bend, Wisconsin, coming off his sophomore year at Indiana State University. Runner on first, 2 away. Baker. First pitch is in there for a strike. Rell joined the Berries early in July. .316 average with 24 hits and 76 at-bats. 3 home runs, 21 runs batted in, 7 doubles and a triple. Fastball upstairs, 1-1. Now you hear it from the Regina fans. Those that are here or from out of their dugout. Umpires can't win. It's as simple as that. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. Strike 2, 1-2. First baseman Gavin Panks on deck for the Berries, hoping to get an opportunity. Baker comes set. 1-2. Fastball. Going to be a called strike 3. And that'll be the end of the bottom of the first inning. No runs, 1 hit. No Regina errors, 1 runner left on base. After an inning, we are scoreless. Saskatoon and Regina as you're watching Berries baseball on Flow College. Defensively for the Saskatoon Berries, as we get ready for the top of the second inning, in right field is Ethan Murdoch. Nash Nichols is in center. Nathan Houston's in left field. In the infield at third base is Mason Rell. The shortstop is Brock Laird. Guile Salinas, the second baseman. And at first is Gavin Panks. Aiden Kilshaw is the catcher. And Zachary Landreville is the pitcher to start here tonight for the Saskatoon Berries. Got through the top of the first inning with 2 strikeouts, a 1-2-3 top of the first, and used just 11 pitches. And now he'll face last year's playoff MVP, Brady Bye, the third baseman for the Regina Red Sox. Bye, .344 average during the regular season, 76 for 221, 13 home runs, 67 runs batted in. Line shot, first pitch swinging into center field, a base hit. Nichols bobbles it out there, but will recover and hold Bye to a line drive single.
Oh, wrong side.
And now it's Jalen Myers, the second baseman. Myers from Arlington, Texas, coming off his senior year at Duane University. Landreville's first pitch. Slider is up high and outside, ball 1. Rain Kreklowitz, the left fielder. First baseman Carson Cox. Possible to hit here in the top of the second. Breaking ball down low and outside this time, 2-0. Again, Landreville's breaking ball is a slider. He will throw a changeup. Has the big fastball, which was the pitch he threw to Bye, who timed it up and got that single to center. There's the fastball up high, 3-0. Landreville falls behind Jalen Myers. Myers hit .364 during the regular season, 47 hits in 129 at-bats, 7 home runs, 24 runs batted in. It's a 4-pitch walk. Bye will advance to second base. And so 2 men on for Regina here in the top of the second. It'll bring up left fielder Rain Kreklowitz. Kreklowitz from Toronto, coming off his freshman year at Northeastern Oklahoma. 6'1", 190-pound outfielder who bats left to face Landreville. Mason Rell in on the grass at third base, expecting a bunt possibly from Braden Cobb, the head coach of the Red Sox, and he squares and bunts it back to the screen, foul, strike 1. Braden Cobb takes over as head coach from Rai Pathakos with the Red Sox back on July 17th. At that time, they were 15-23 and out of a playoff spot. They end up third. Kreklowitz shows bunt early and stabs at it and misses it. And strike 2. So now that's probably going to be the end of the sacrifice, unless Braden Cobb insists on keeping it on, and if there's a foul ball or whatever, becomes a strikeout. Runners at first and second and nobody out. Kreklowitz doesn't show bunt. Pitch outside. Aiden Kilshaw had to be good to snare that. 1-2. Brady Bye with a leadoff single, a walk to Jalen Myers. First and second. Nobody out. Top of the second. Postseason baseball. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 3 already for Zachary Landreville. It'll bring up the first baseman, Carson Cox. Back on Monday when these teams played, Cox was the catcher and Daniel Castellanos was the first baseman. They've just essentially flipped positions for tonight's game. Everybody else in the Regina lineup is the same tonight as it were back on Monday. Some differences, though, in the batting order, but not much. Laundreville looking at by at second. Throws the slider, and it's inside to Carson Cox for ball one. Cox from Dublin, Ohio, coming off his redshirt freshman year at Indiana State. So he knows Mason Rell. 6'1", 220 is Carson Cox. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball, 1-1. Mateo Pierre, the designated hitter, on deck for Regina. Fouled off. 1-2. Cox hit 180 during the regular season in the summer. 11 hits and 61 at-bats. A home run, 9 runs batted in. He also had 5 doubles, so 6 of his 11 hits were for extra base hits. Or at least for extra bases. They were hits, obviously. Laundreville with a 1-2 count against Carson Cox. Swung on, bounced. Rell will tag the bag at third, try and throw him out at first, but not in time. So they cut off the lead runner. By is out, and there's still 2 runners on first and second with 2 away. And it'll bring up Mateo Pierre, the designated hitter. Pierre from France. He can catch. There's like 5 different guys who can catch on the Regina Red Sox roster. First and second now with 2 away here in the top of the second inning. Swing and a miss, Pierre on the changeup. Strike 1, he was out in front of that. Pierre 6'1", 205, coming off his freshman year at Arizona Western. One strike count. Swing and a miss. He got fooled on the slider. Weak swing. Tried to hold up. Couldn't do so. So now 2 strikes on Mateo Pierre with 2 away here in the top of the second. Fans rising, trying to help Laundreville and the Berries get off the field and get back to the bats. 2-strike pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Killshot trying to grab the ball, finally does, and will complete the out by throwing on to first base. So that's the end of the inning for Regina in the top of the second inning. No runs on 1 hit. There were no Berries errors. 2 runners left on base. After an inning and a half, we are scoreless. Saskatoon and Regina, you're watching Berries baseball on Flow College. So just to update, our official scorers tell us that the last man up for Regina, striking out Mateo Pierre, was actually called out for interference with catcher Aiden Killshot going after the ball after he was unable to squeeze it cleanly for the strikeout. Pierre kind of got in their way or they ran into one another, whatever the case may be. But home plate umpire Ron Shuchuk called interference on Mateo Pierre, so the throw down to first wasn't necessary. But here we are, bottom of the second inning, and Kagan Baker to face Gavin Panks, first baseman for the Berries. Fouls the first pitch back onto the screen, strike one. Panks finished the regular season on a 5-game hitting streak. 9 for 17 in that time, which is better than 500. 6 runs batted in. Panks flares this one into left. Coming on is Kreklowitz. He won't make the catch. It drops in front of him. Kreklowitz will smother the ball. Panks with a leadoff single here in the bottom of the second inning. He was able to fight that one off inside and drive it out to left field. Now it'll bring up Josh Henson, the designated hitter. Henson in his last 2 games of the regular season was 6 for 8 with 4 runs batted in. Panks at first. First pitch in there for a strike to Josh Henson. Henson finished 10th in the league in hits with 67. Tied for 7th in home runs with 11. And 3rd in runs batted in with 64 as he fouls that pitch back to the screen. 0-2, he's behind. Catcher Aiden Kilshaw on deck. Henson coming off his freshman year at Southeastern Louisiana. Breaking ball down low, 1-2. Henson, a high school phenom at Buckhorn High School in Newmarket, Alabama. There's a check on the runner Panks at first as Baker whirls and fires sidearmed first. Not overhand as he pitches. One-two pitch to Henson. High with a fastball, 2-2. Pleasant night, warmer than it was back on Wednesday here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field for the final regular season games. 21 degrees Celsius, 70 Fahrenheit, west-northwest wind, 15 kilometers per hour. Partly cloudy skies. That's called strike 3 on Henson on the inside corner. And that's the 3rd strikeout for Baker in the ball game. First out in the bottom of the second inning. Aiden Kilshaw, the catcher, who became a full-time member of the team back in July after being an affiliate player to start the year. He's only 17 years old, but has proven himself capable of playing at this level. He tries to bunt his way on and bunts it foul, strike 1. In limited games, Kilshaw hit .308 in the regular season, 16 hits in 52 at-bats, a home run and 14 runs batted in, 3 doubles and a triple. Originally from Swift Current, but has lived in Saskatoon the last few years. An original member of the Berries Academy. There's a toss over again to check on Panks at first. Fans boo. I always find that comical. What's he supposed to do? Let the guy just dance around at will? Keep him close to the base. There's the old pitcher in me coming out. On the ground, Kilshaw taken at second by Myers. The flip to short for 1. Back over to first. In time for the double play. That'll end the bottom of the second inning. No runs, 1 hit. No Regina errors. Nobody left on base. After 2, Double donuts on the scoreboard. Berries and the Red Sox as you're watching Berries baseball on Flow College. Alex Rue will lead it off for Regina in the top of the third inning, the right fielder for the Red Sox. And then back to the top of the order for shortstop Jake Fowler and center fielder Ian Montz to face Zachary Landreville, the starting pitcher tonight for the Saskatoon Berries. Game 1 of a best-of-3 East Division semifinal. It's also Game 1 in other series tonight, the 3 other series. See if we can update you here momentarily. Well, we don't have that working for us. Let's see if this tab will work. Nope. Not as of yet. First pitch from Landreville to Alex Rue is down low, ball 1. One-0 pitch up high, 2-0 to Rue, who hit 190 during the regular season, 24 hits and 126 at-bats. 15 runs batted in, 5 doubles, 2 triples. Good speed on the right fielder for the Regina Red Sox, and Mason Rell respecting that, almost on the infield grass at third. Slider outside, 3-0. Rue from Mandeville, Louisiana. Redshirt senior at Spring Hill University. Takes a strike on the 3-0 pitch. 3-1 the count. Landreville will try and work his way back in the count here. 3-1 pitch. That's in for strike 2. That was the slider again. That inside, and it's a full count pitch walk, giving Regina the leadoff man on base here in the top of the third inning. Second walk issued by Zachary Landreville to go along with 4 strikeouts. No update from the other East Division semifinal. Medicine Hat at Moose Jaw, but out west, top of the third inning, scoreless between Lethbridge and Sylvan Lake. Bottom of the first in Okotoks, Energy City leading the Dogs 2-0. Here's Jake Fowler. A slider outside, ball 1. Fowler, first pitch swinging back in the first inning. The leadoff man at 7:01, grounded out to second baseman Giles Salinas. Fowler came up here to this team as a pitcher, supposedly, but now here's Killshot with a throw down to first, and Rue with a big secondary lead had to scramble back. A strike to Fowler, 1-1. Fowler 5'10", 160. Good speed. And again, Laundreville throws, but this gets away from Panks into foul territory in right field, and around second and heading for third is Rue, and he'll get in there. He'll slide in, didn't have to, as Gavin Panks will run the ball back into the infield. So Rue advances all the way around to third base on the error. I'm not sure if it's to the pitcher or to the first baseman. It's going to be to the pitcher, Laundreville, on the pickoff throw attempt. Sorry. So now the infielder's in here in the top of the third inning. Laundreville's 1-1 pitch to Fowler, and that's a slider in for strike two, 1-2. Ian Montz, the center fielder, on deck. One-two pitch, foul back to the screen. Fowler stays alive, 1-2. As mentioned, the Red Sox really rallied after the change at head coach. Look out, foul ball over top of the bleachers on the first base side. Fowler with a late swing, just trying to stay alive, and managed to get a bat on it. One-two pitch, swing and a miss on the slider. Fifth strikeout of the evening for Zachary Laundreville. One away, and that's a big out, as you keep the runner on third base, but the infield's going to stay in for Ian Montz, who struck out back in the first inning. Montz hit .327 in his limited time this year with the Regina Red Sox, coming in at the end of June. First pitch up the first base line. Panks can't field it cleanly. That'll bring in a run, and Montz will make his way to first base safely. So another error to the Berries, and that allows the run to score, make it 1-0 for Regina. So now Daniel Castellanos, who struck out his first time up back in the first inning. Montz, who also runs well for a man who's 6'4", 200 pounds, at first base. Foul back onto the screen. Strike one to Castellanos. Right-handed hitter Daniel Castellanos. Montz takes off for second. Killshaw with the throw and the tag, and he is out. Giles Salinas catches the short hop and slaps the tag on Ian Montz for the second out. Caught stealing. 2 away. Didn't catch what the pitch was. It's a ball, so 1-1 the count on Castellanos. The Regina catcher for tonight. He's from Los Angeles. Check swing and a called strike. 1-2. Castellanos from Los Angeles, coming off his senior year at West Texas A&M. Laundreville 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning. Fouled off over top of the first base bleachers, out of play. Count holds at 1-2. A walk and 2 errors allow Regina to open the scoring here in the top of the third inning. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Launderville has struck out 2 each inning, has 6 through 3 innings, but he's also walked a couple, and a couple of errors hurt him here in the top of the third inning. 1 run, no hits. There were 2 Berries errors, and nobody left on base. After 2.5, Regina 1, Saskatoon no score, as you're watching Berries baseball on Flow College. Last 2 batters in the game to have not yet made a plate appearance on the 2 teams will do so here in the bottom of the third inning for the Saskatoon Berries. Left fielder Nathan Houston, center fielder Nash Nichols to face Kagan Baker. Baker staked to a 1-0 lead by his team back in the top of the third inning. Daniel Castellanos, having just been the last out, takes a little bit of time to get the gear on, shin guards, chest protector, helmet and mask. Grab the glove. Let's get out there and get ready to go. And home plate umpire Ron Shuchuk will give him a couple of more warm-ups for Kagan Baker before we get ready to get going with the bottom of the third inning. So here's Houston, graduate of Martin Collegiate in Regina, originally from Melville, but in his WCBL career has played for both Moose Jaw and the Berries, not for the Red Sox. Right-hand hitter facing Kagan Baker. His first pitch, swing and a miss. At a breaking ball, strike 1. Houston, 6 feet, 190 pounds, coming off his junior year at Louisiana Tech. Breaking ball outside, 1-1. Houston hit .341 during the summer, 61 hits and 179 at-bats. No home runs, 39 runs batted in. 11 doubles, 3 triples. Good speed on Nathan Houston. Foul back onto the screen, 1-2. Another player with good speed, Nash Nichols, on deck for the Berries, center fielder. Joe Carnahan likes to run when he gets traffic on the bases. Be up to Baker and Castellanos, the battery combination, to try and limit that if indeed the Berries try and do that. Houston called time. Now time called back in, and Baker will get ready to deliver a 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball outside, 2-2. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 4th strikeout of the evening for Kagan Baker. Up comes Nash Nichols, center fielder from Waxahachie, Texas. 6'1", 170-pound outfielder, coming off his sophomore year at Brookhaven College in Dallas. Told me earlier in the season he's not a home run hitter, more of a singles doubles guy, and Here's one up the first base line, and what did that hit to change directions? Nichols around first. He's going to head for second and will dive in safely. What a hop that took on first baseman Carson Cox. That one started up the line and caught the edge of the infield grass and took off back to Carson Cox's right. He was moving to his left, and all of a sudden, there goes the ball to his right into shallow right field, and Nichols, with good speed, able to get around to second base. So a one-out double. He'll bring up the top of the order for the Berries, and Brock Laird, who struck out on 3 pitches to lead off the Berries batting tonight in the bottom of the first inning against Kagan Baker. There's some home field advantage there. Breaking pitch in for a strike. Laird saw 3 of those in his first at-bat and sees another one here to start off this second at-bat. Laird finished the year on a 3-game hitting streak, 6 for 13 with a run batted in. Long look at second. Breaking pitch down low this time, 1-1. .462 in the last 3 games for Brock Laird. On the ground towards short. Throw on to first, as holding his ground at second is Nash Nichols. And there's 2 away, as a nice room service hop that time for the shortstop Jake Fowler. So now Ethan Murdoch, who singled back in the first inning. Murdoch was 6th in the league in OPS at 1.069, 4th in hits with 82, and tied for 4th in doubles with 17. Breaking pitch fouled off towards the Berries' first base dugout and out of play. 1 strike. Murdoch was also tied for 2nd in the league in home runs with 14 and 4th in runs batted in with 62. Coming off his senior year at Marshall University. Fastball outside, 1-1. Kyle Salinas, the second baseman, on deck. And now Baker steps off. Doesn't have to throw to second or third base, but you have to first. What they call disengagements. Fastball strike, 1-2 now on Murdoch. Baker hanging on to the ball for a long time, getting his sign from Castellanos. Now they seem to be ready. Second baseman Myers backs away from the bag. Nichols bluffed as if he was going, and the pitch up and in on Ethan Murdoch. 2-2. So the deuces are wild here on the top line of the scoreboard at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And Ethan Murdoch, the batter. Breaking pitch, low, full count. Nash Nichols, the runner at second. The full count pitch. Hit back up the middle. It'll jump over the bag and bobbled by Jalen Myers. Nichols is coming home and he's dead to rights. Castellanos waiting for the ball at home. I think Nichols thought there might have been a try to make a play at first and he was going to round third and come for home regardless, but he gets thrown out pretty easily for the third out. A fielder's choice. And the throw out at home. And so for the Berries, in the bottom of the third inning, no runs, 1 hit. 2 hits is what we're giving now. No runs, 2 hits. There were no Regina errors. And 1 runner left on base. After 3 complete, it's Regina 1, Saskatoon no score. You're watching Berries baseball on Flow College. First pitch of the top of the fourth inning, by with a little looping fly ball into right center field. Finding it and making the catch is Nash Nichols. Ethan Murdoch didn't catch it off the bat, and Nichols was able to make the catch for the first out. The unofficial line score as we go to the top of the fourth inning for Regina, a run on 1 hit, no errors. They've left 2 runners on base. For the Berries, no runs, 4 hits. They've committed 2 errors, and they've left 2 runners on base. Jalen Myers to the plate. He walked his first time up back in the second inning. Facing Zachary Landreville. Swings and misses at the first pitch. Strike 1. Second baseman left fielder Rayne Kreklowitz is on deck. Check swing. Ron Shuchuk, the home plate umpire, says, no, you went. Strike 2. Myers came into the postseason 2 for 14 in his last 5 games, but one of the hits was a home run and 2 runs batted in. Swing and a miss, and the throw on down to first to complete the strikeout, the 7th of the game for Zachary Landreville. And there's 2 away here in the top of the fourth inning. So now it's Rayne Kreklowitz, who struck out his first time up back in the second inning. Kreklowitz in his last 5 games coming into the postseason, 3 for 13 with 3 runs batted in. Takes a called strike. Swing and a miss, strike 2 now on Kreklowitz. That 3 for 13 is 231. Thank goodness for the calculator on the laptop. Landreville looking to make short work of the inning. Kreklowitz, though, hits it the other way and through. Diving attempt by Brock Laird in the hole at short. And even if he comes up with the ball, he's not likely going to throw Kreklowitz out at first, so it's a single to left field. And a runner on first for Regina with 2 away in the top of the 4th inning brings up the first baseman Carson Cox. Just the second hit for the Red Sox so far. Slider in for a strike. Cox bounced into a fielder's choice his first time up, back in the 2nd inning. Now this one gets away from Aiden Killshot to the backstop, and moving on to second is Rain Kreklowitz. 1-1 the count on Carson Cox, who was 0 for 8 in his last 3 games of the regular season, but did have an RBI. You may make an out, but if you can produce a run, not all's lost. Launderville, 1-1 pitch. Fastball called strike. 1-2. Launderville checks the runner at second. The 1-2. Slider down and away. 2-2. Top of the 4th inning. At Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, Game 1 of the best of 3 East Division semifinal as the postseason in the WCBL is underway. 2-2, 2 out. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's again 2 strikeouts in the inning for Launderville. 8 in the game through 4 innings of work. For Regina in the top of the 4th, no runs, 1 hit. No Barry's errors, 1 runner left on base. After 3.5, Regina 1, Saskatoon no score. As you're watching Barry's baseball on Flow College.
The live sports experience is changing. Teams and facilities are under pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. IKS Live has the right team to deliver. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience, in the seats or streaming to you. IKS Live continues to bring you the best seat in the house.
Heart of the order for the Saskatoon Berries here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Second baseman Giles Salinas. Third baseman Mason Rell. First baseman Gavin Panks to face Kagan Baker. Salinas, first pitch swinging his first time up, flew out to right field. Looks at a breaking pitch outside, ball 1 this time. Ian Muntz, the center fielder, shades just a little bit to the right field side of straightaway center. Popped up into shallow outfield, and that will fall in for a base hit. No man's land. 3 guys converge. Second baseman Myers, right fielder Rue, and center fielder Muntz, and none of them could get to it. So the Berries again get the leadoff man on base for the 2nd time in the ball game. Now it's Mason Rell coming to the plate. Struck out his first time up back in the 1st inning. Rel 4 for 15 in his last 4 games of the regular season with a run batted in. I think I can do that one in my head math-wise. 267. He takes a first pitch strike. Hit in the air to right. Alex Rue moves a few steps over to his right and will make the catch for the first out. They'll bring up the first baseman Gavin Panks. Extended his hitting streak, regular season and now postseason combined, to 6 games. 10 for 18 in that time, .556 average. Game sailing along. A good pitcher's duel here between Zachary Landerville of the Saskatoon Berries and Kagan Baker for the Regina Red Sox in Game 1 of the Best of 3 East Division semifinal. Baker's first pitch to Panks outside, ball 1. Now check on Salinas at first. Dives back in. Safely, of course. That breaking ball is in for a strike, 1-1. Shadows envelop the entire infield, most of the outfield. 4 of the players for the Regina Red Sox have to fight the sun a little bit. As that one inside, and Panks able to dance out of the way of it. 2 balls and 1 strike. All 3 outfielders have to contend with it. And the shortstop has it in his face as he backs up to the edge of the infield towards the outfield grass. 2-1 the count on Gavin Panks. Baker's pitch fouled back and over top of the, oh no, it actually hit the screen and stays in the ballpark. 2-2 the count. Kyle Salinas at first. 2-2 the count. Outside, full count. Kagan Baker had been pretty efficient with his pitch count through the first 3 innings. We have a full count here now on Panks. We'll see if Salinas goes with the pitch. No, he does not. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 5th strikeout of the night for Kagan Baker. 2 away now in the bottom of the 4th inning, and DH Josh Henson to the plate. One of Baker's strikeout victims back in the 2nd inning. Henson rallied late in the year to hit .312 with 67 hits and 212 at-bats. Outside, breaking ball, ball 1. Just past an hour into this ball game. Swing and a miss on that breaking pitch, 1-1. What Environment Canada at the weather office at Diefenbaker Airport, 5 kilometers to the north of us, calls partly cloudy. Looks pretty much sunny here as far as I'm concerned. 19 Celsius, 66 Fahrenheit, and the wind has basically knocked itself down to almost nothing. West-northwest at 8 kilometers per hour. That's just 5 miles per hour. Up high with the 1-1 pitch, now 2-1 to Josh Henson. Catcher Aiden Killshaw for the Berries on deck. Two-one, hit on the ground. It'll be off the glove of the third baseman Brady By into shallow left field, and everybody is safe. Salinas to second, and at first base is Josh Henson with a base hit. So 2 hits in the inning. 2 men out. Aiden Kilshaw, who bounced into a double play his first time up back in the second inning. With the at-bat now. First pitch swinging up the middle. Be taken at behind the bag and a race to the bag to get the out. And a good job there by the shortstop, Jake Fowler, to get there just before Josh Henson arrived for the third out. The Berries get 2 hits. No Regina errors and 2 runners left on base. After 4, Regina 1, Saskatoon no score, as you're watching Berries baseball on Flow College.
For more than 25 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Access Storage. Try 4 weeks free. Details at accessstorage.ca.
Hey baseball fans, make sure to stay up to date with your favorite teams across the league by subscribing to the WCBL YouTube channel right now. We have tons of free coverage for you over there, including daily highlights, full archived game broadcasts, daily game day previews, plus the WCBL report with myself and Joe McFarland every Wednesday. It's all in one spot, the WCBL YouTube channel. Subscribe today.
Top of the 5th inning here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Game 1, best of 3 East Division semifinal series between the Saskatoon Berries and the Regina Red Sox. Game 2 is tomorrow night, 6:05 at Curry Field in Regina. And if a third game is necessary, it would be Sunday night back here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field at 7 o'clock. Zachary Landreville back out to pitch for the Berries. Unofficially, 57 pitches to get through 4 innings. He'll face DH Mateo Pierre, right fielder Alex Roux, and shortstop Jake Fowler. And time called before we get started. First pitch strike, a fastball is a strike. Inside corner at the knees to Pierre, who struck out back in the second inning and was called out when the ball got away from Aiden Kilshaw, called for interference with the catcher. Fastball, swing and a miss, behind 0-2. Pierre calls time. He was 0 for his last 6. To finish off the regular season. Swing and a miss. 3-pitch strikeout. Strikeout number 9 for Zachary Landreville. Alex Roux walked and scored the only run of the game back in the third inning when the Berries threw the ball around a little. A walk. The 2-base throwing error on a pickoff attempt by Landreville got him to third, and then on a ball hit up the first base line, Gavin Panks couldn't squeeze it off the bat of Ian Muntz, and the run came in to score. Roux sends this a mile high in the air in behind second base. Salinas going back and will make the catch ahead of Nash Nichols, the center fielder, charging up. 2 away. And now shortstop Jake Fowler, leadoff man. He's 0 for 2, grounded out and struck out. First pitch swinging, a fly ball into right field. Ethan Murdoch coming over. He'll make the catch, and that's a 1-2-3, top of the 5th inning for the Regina Red Sox. No runs, no hits, no Berries errors, nobody left on base. Halfway through, 4.5 innings done. It's 1-0 Regina with the lead as you're watching Berries baseball on Flow Color.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With 15 locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
Second time in the ball game, the number 8 hitter in the Berries order will lead off an inning. That's Nathan Houston, who struck out against Kagan Baker, leading off the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's the bottom of the 5th now. Regina with a 1-0 lead. Berries have 6 hits, but have not been able to push over a run. Houston squares to bunt, misses. Thought he had pulled back, but home plate umpire Ron Shuchuk says, no, you attempted it, and it's strike 1. Nash Nichols is up next, and then Brock Laird at the top of the order, scheduled to hit for sure here in the bottom of the 5th inning for Saskatoon. Houston pops this one up. In play, Castellanos back near the backstop will make the catch for the first out. So now Nash Nichols doubled and then was thrown out at home trying to score from second base on an infield hit off the bat of Ethan Murdoch back in the 3rd inning. Nichols 4 for his last 17, including the double tonight. Swing and a miss, strike 1. The Nichols double was somewhat fortuitous back in the 3rd inning. It was a ground ball up the first baseline that took a wild bounce towards second base, and it's called strike 2 on Nichols. Totally discombobulated the first baseman Carson Cox. Baker up 2 strikes. Nichols fouls that back into the first base bleachers. Stays alive at 2 strikes. High and away, ball 1. 1-2 on Nash Nichols. And that's bounced in outside, 2-2. That was unofficially Baker's 60th pitch of the night. Nichols calling for time. Now into the batter's box. Faces a 2-2 count from Kagan Baker. Breaking ball outside, full count. Barry's top of the order due up now once this plate appearance is done. And that's high and outside, ball 4. So Nichols draws a walk. Flip the batting order over. Third time coming up for Brock Laird against Kagan Baker. Struck out in the first, grounded to short in the third inning. Laird in the regular season, head-to-head against Regina, hit .341. Fouls the first pitch back to the screen, strike 1. 14 for 41 with a home run and 8 runs batted in against the Regina Red Sox. Nichols at first, good base runner, good base stealer. Hit high in the air, center field. Ian Montz looking for it. Settles under it, makes the catch. And there's 2 away. So now Ethan Murdoch, who's 2 for 2. Single to right in the first inning, infield single in the third. Murdoch during the regular season against Regina was pretty much held in check. 12 for 41. That's .293 with 6 runs batted in. Compared to him hitting .358 in all. Breaking ball down low from Baker, ball 1. See what Nichols takes off here. Does not. Murdoch fouls it off beyond the first base bleachers into the trees. 1-1. Nash Nichols had 16 stolen bases in the regular season. Caught twice. Again, your center fielder you expect to have good wheels. 1-1 pitch on the outside corner, 1-2. Murdoch not so sure about that. And now has to settle down and get that out of his mind and get ready for what Kagan Baker's throwing here. 1-2, Nichols takes off. Pitch bounced in. Castellanos blocks it. Nichols dives into second safely with a stolen base. Count even at 2-2. Murdoch can get on. Giles Salinas is on deck. Baker steps off the rubber, getting himself ready to go. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The situation with Ethan Murdoch at the plate. 2-2 pitch, breaking ball down and away. Full count. Well, Action Jackson time here in the bottom of the 5th with this pitch. Let's see what happens. Line drive back up through the middle, base hit. Nichols around third. He will score. And we're tied up at 1-1 in the bottom of the 5th inning as Ethan Murdoch with a solid single right back up the middle drives home Nash Nichols with the tying run. 7th hit of the night for the Berries as a team. And now it's Giles Salinas coming to the plate. Singled his last time up. He's 1 for 2. He's had hits now in 9 straight games, including regular season and postseason. And during that time, he's 18 for 31. Hence, he won the batting crown. .581 he's hitting in the last 9 games as Baker's first pitch low and away, ball 1. Salinas also got the power going in the last 8 games. 4 home runs and 12 runs batted in. Got to 60 RBI. Now a toss over to check on Murdoch, who jumped ahead along the baseline. Then popped back and feeling pretty good. He's 3 for 3. Up high to Salinas, 2-0. Mason Rell on deck. Bullpens on both sides are quiet. Zachary Laundreville only needed 5 pitches to get through the top of the 5th inning. That's a changeup that's in for a strike, 2-1. Unofficially, Laundreville has thrown 62 pitches. Baker is beyond that. Unofficially. Down low, 3-1. Fans getting into it, trying to get on Kagan Baker. Don't think it's really mattering at all to him. But Baker is up unofficially to 73 pitches in the ball game. 3-1 count, 2 out. That's a breaking pitch in for a strike. So a full count now. Murdoch will be taking off with the pitch. Three and two with 2 away. Murdoch takes off, and the pitch is called strike 3 on Giles Salinas. 6th strikeout of the night for Kagan Baker. But the Berries tie it up here in the bottom of the 5th with a run on 1 hit. No Regina errors and 1 runner left on base. After 5 complete, we're tied at 1. Saskatoon and Regina. You're watching Berries baseball on Flow College. Ready to go here in the top of the 6th inning, a 1-1 tie. Zachary Laundreville will face the center fielder Ian Montz, catcher Daniel Castellano, and third baseman Brady Bye for a 3rd time each. Montz reached on an error back in the 3rd inning, and that brought in Alex Rue with the Regina run. He also struck out one of 9 Laundreville strikeout victims. First pitch slider inside, ball 1. Laundreville's biggest outing pitch-wise is 85 in his last start back on the 28th of July against Medicine Hat. Montz couldn't pull the trigger on that slider. Count tied up at 1-1. On the other side, Kagan Baker's thrown 100 pitches twice this year. 104 is most. outside 2-1 with the change up there. Game 1 of the best of 3 East Division semifinal, tied up at 1. 2-1 pitch. Montz fouls that towards the Berries dugout, and everybody scatters in there. Don't want to get hit with that ball. 2-2 the count now. Londerville 2-2 pitch to Montz. That is just outside with the change-up. Full count. Montz, a dangerous hitter against the Berries when he played against them this year. 9 for 17, a .529 average with 2 home runs and 10 runs batted in. Aside from Brady Bye, obviously this might be the most dangerous man in the Regina lineup for the Berries to handle. Full count pitch. This one is hooked down the right field line, way foul. Count holds full at 3-2. Second try at a full count pitch here from Londerville to Ian Montz, leading off the top of the 6th inning. That is ball 4. The Red Sox get their leadoff man on. That's the 3rd walk issued by Londerville. And up comes Daniel Castellanos, who has struck out twice against Londerville. And with that, we have Colin Plain and Wesley Shackelford moving down the right field line. The possibility of getting somebody up throwing and warming up. Castellanos shows bunt, then pulls the bat back, and the pitch up high, ball 1. Again showing bunt. This time he does bunt it, but foul up the first baseline, 1-1. 1-1 tie. Old school fundamental baseball. Get the leadoff man on, try and bunt him over to second with a sacrifice, and have 2 shots to drive him in with a single to retake the lead. He squares again. Rell creeping in from third. Londerville waits, throws. That's off of Kilshaw's glove to the backstop. And moving on up to second base is Ian Montz on a pass ball. 2-1 the count. So now it's 3 shots at driving him in from second. Rell's still on the infield grass, and Gavin Panks, the first baseman, now at the edge of the infield grass. He shows bunt again. 2-1. He'll bunt it. Panks can't come up with it, kicks it around, and it's going to end up being runners on first and third. Third error of the night for the Saskatoon Berries. It's an error. And here comes Dustin Mulliken, the Berries pitching consultant, out to chat with Zachary Londerville, who's got nobody out and runners on first and third here in the top of the 6th inning. Brady Bye, the third baseman, who singled his first time up. He's actually swung at the first pitch from Londerville both times he's been up. Singled in the second, flew out to center in the fourth. Bye finished the year with hits in 11 of his last 12 games. 20 hits in 46 at-bats, which again is pretty fair stuff. Hit .435 in the last 12 games with a couple of home runs and 15 runs batted in. White City product. It's kind of like being from Martinsville or Warman around Saskatoon. People that live in those places don't like being called from Saskatoon. People in White City don't like being called from Regina, as By takes a called strike. By from White City coming off his senior year at Point University. Catcher utility, that is definitely the case. I don't know how much catching he's done. Every time I've seen Regina play and he's been in the lineup, it's been at third base. Line drive right at Salinas. He'll make the catch, and the runners go back to their spots. Big out there with a well-hit ball by Brady By. First out, and By just shakes his head, says, geez, I hammered that. But right at him. So now Jalen Myers walked in the second inning, struck out in the fourth. Berries could use a strikeout, a pop-up in the infield, but not this time. It's going to be a line drive base hit into right field. Makes the score 2-1 as Monson to score, and around to third is Daniel Castellanos. So the score is now 2-1 in favor of the Red Sox. Berries worked all that much to get back to tie and now find themselves behind again with one away. Myers had 24 runs batted in during the regular season as a playoff or a postseason RBI. First pitch up high to Rain Kreklowitz, left fielder who singled his last time up. Wesley Shackelford warming up down the right field line in the Berries bullpen. This one hit off the glove of the pitcher Landreville, collected at second by Salinas. He'll throw out Kreklowitz, but in to score from third is Castellanos. So Myers on to second base as Kreklowitz is out, 2 away here in the top of the sixth, and it's now 3-1 for Regina. So now Carson Cox, the first baseman, 0 for 2. Fielder's choice and a strikeout. Slider in for a strike. Landreville can get out of the inning. This might be the last frame for him as Joe Carnahan, the head coach, looks down towards the right field line in the bullpen where Wesley Shackelford is warming up. Swing and a miss on a slider. 2 strikes on Carson Cox. No action in the Regina bullpen. Kagan Baker, unofficially at 75 pitches through 5 innings, will be out for the bottom of the 6th. Again, staked to a lead, this time a 2-run lead at 3-1, at least for now. Pending what happens here in the top of the 6th. 2-strike pitch. And a slider called strike 3. That's the 10th strikeout of the night for Zachary Landreville. But Regina scores twice in the top of the 6th inning with 1 hit, 1 Berries error, and 1 runner left on base. After 5.5, Regina 3, Saskatoon 1. You're watching Berries baseball on Flow College. Middle third of the Barries order comes back up here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Regina retakes the lead at 3-1 here in game 1 of the best of 3 East Division semifinal series. Mason Rell, Gavin Panks, and Josh Henson coming to the plate for Saskatoon against Kagan Baker. 6 strikeouts for him. 1 walk. A walk that scored back last inning. Rell, meanwhile, 0 for 2. Looking for his first hit against Regina this season. Mind you, he only played 1 game. That was the last time these teams played, back here on Monday. Home plate umpire calls strike 1 on Rell. Rell was 0 for 3 that game. 0 for 2 so far tonight. Looking to get things kick-started here in the bottom of the 6th for the Berries. Up high, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and that's called strike 1-2. And a nice chat with Mason Rell after the last regular season game about those purplish shoes that he wears. Hits this one into the air, left center field. Mott's coming on, and he's there as it hangs up long enough for him to get there in time to make the catch, 1 away. We'll talk more about Mason Rell's purple shoes that he wears. Bottom of the 6th inning. Gavin Panks, 1 for 2. Singled in the 2nd inning, struck out in the 4th. 6 straight games for Panks with a hit. During the regular season, head-to-head against Regina, 13 for 33 with 9 runs batted in. First pitch fouled off and out of play, strike 1. Panks from Covington, Louisiana, coming off his freshman year at Southeastern Louisiana University. 6 foot, 200 pound. Catcher, first baseman. He'll lift this one into shallow left field. Going over is Jake Fowler, the shortstop. And he'll make the catch. Good running catch by Fowler as Rain Kreklowitz, the left fielder, was way around in left center field and deep. That was almost in no man's land, but a great catch by Fowler to make it 2 away. And now Josh Henson singled his last time up. Struck out in the 2nd inning. He was 9 for 39 head-to-head against the Red Sox during the regular season, but did have a couple of home runs and 10 runs batted in. Looks at a first pitch ball. 231 was Henson's average head-to-head against Regina during the regular season. Fastball in for a strike, 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Cue to foul. 1-2. Baker's 1-2 pitch. Low and away, 2-2. Catcher Aiden Kilshaw on deck, hoping to get an at-bat here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-2, 2 away. Popped up foul, and this one will twist up and over the backstop and into the first base bleachers out of play. Count holds at 2-2. Somebody catch that in the stands? No? Oh, it hit someone. Well, they're okay.
Oh, on his head.
Doing it again, 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 7th strikeout for Kagan Baker in this game tonight. And a 3 up, 3 down, bottom of the 6th for the Berries. No runs, no hits, no Regina errors, nobody left on base. After 6, Red Sox 3, Saskatoon 1. You're watching Berries baseball on Flow College. Quick look at the unofficial line score for tonight's game through 6 innings of play. For the Regina Red Sox, 3 runs on 3 hits. They have not committed an error, and they've left 4 runners on base. For the Saskatoon Berries, 1 run on 7 hits. They've committed 3 errors, and they have left 5 runners on base. As we head to the top of the 7th inning, there will be a pitching change here for the Berries. Wesley Shackelford coming in out of the bullpen to pitch in place of Zachary Laundreville, who gave Joe Carnahan and the Berries a very good 6 innings tonight. Shackelford, a right-hander, 6 foot, 205 pounds, out of Belleville, Texas, coming off his freshman year at Odessa College. Let's see, what more can we tell you about Shackelford? A win and a loss. He was a latecomer to the team, a 1.88 earned run average. During the regular season, he made 7 appearances out of the bullpen, 14 1/3 innings pitched, 10 hits against, 5 runs, 3 earned, struck out 17, and walked 5. And we have a pinch hitter coming up here to start the top of the 7th inning. Mateo Pierre going to be replaced in the lineup, the DH, by Rina Reese, an outfielder out of Richmond, Missouri, coming off his senior year at Salem University. It'll be Reese, and right fielder Alex Rue, and then back to the top of the order for Jake Fowler, the shortstop. First pitch from Shackelford, down low to Reese, ball 1. New pitcher, new batter. Down low, 2-0. Shackelford's 2-0 pitch fouled off at the plate. 2-1 the count. No real action down the left field line in the Regina bullpen as of yet. Kagan Baker has had a really good outing so far tonight for the Regina Red Sox. There's a changeup swung on and missed, strike 2. Shackelford throws a fastball that can touch upwards of 91 miles an hour, 88 to 91 for him. Slider and a changeup and a swing and a miss. Strike 3. 1 away here in the top of the 7th inning. It'll bring up the right fielder Alex Rue. 0 for 1, walked and scored back in the 3rd inning. Rue in the regular season against the Berries was 4 for 30, 133 average with 7 runs batted in, though. So he had some productive plate appearances, as it turned out. The slider is in for a strike from Shackelford. Mentioned he's from Belleville, Texas. And now time called late. And Grant, no. Home plate umpire Ron Shuchuk indicating that's one timeout he's allowed. I think Rue might have ended up with a bug in his ear or something. Just spun out of the batter's box very rapidly. 1-1 the count. Shackelford made 10 relief appearances for Odessa College this year. There's a slider in there for a strike 2, 1-2. He had no record. Fouled back off the pole. That helps keep up the screen here on the backstop. You can hear the ting. 1-2 the count on Alex Rue. Fans urged to get loud, and there's a swing and a miss. Strike 3 on a changeup. 2 away. Going to bring up Jake Fowler for the 4th time in the game. Shortstop for Regina. 0 for 3. Struck out once in those 3 times. Shackelford's first pitch, fastball, outside, ball 1. Great outing for Zachary Launderville. This one's a 2-hopper to third to Mason Rell. The throw across the diamond in plenty of time. For the 3rd out, a 1-2-3, top of the 7th for Wesley Shackelford in relief of Zachary Launderville. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Berries, and nobody left on base. After 6.5 heading to the 7th inning stretch, it's Regina 3, Saskatoon 1. You're watching Berries baseball on Flow College. Give you the line on the pitching tonight for Zachary Launderville, the starter for the Saskatoon Berries. Unofficially 6 innings. He allowed 3 hits, 3 runs, 1 of which was earned, 10 strikeouts, 3 walks. He faced 25 batters and unofficially threw 81 pitches. Wesley Shackelford took over for him in the 7th. The Regina starter, Kagan Baker, is still going here in the bottom of the 7th inning, unofficially at 87 pitches for the night, facing the bottom 3rd of the Berries order. First pitch outside to Aiden Kilshaw, the catcher, ball 1. There is action down the left field line in the Regina bullpen. We'll catch who that is momentarily. Kilshaw bunting, and it goes foul up the third base line. 1-1. It's Daniel Crabtree, the veteran, who's a starter but is in the bullpen right now for the Regina Red Sox. So maybe a little switch of responsibilities for the Red Sox. Would desperately love, obviously, to get the victory here tonight in Saskatoon, go home for Game 2 tomorrow night. The Berries need to find a comeback in this one tonight, or else face that daunting task of trying to win at Curry Field tomorrow. 1-1 the count. Killshaw, line drive, right field. Hooking. That'll get past the right fielder. Off the fence on a short hop. Killshaw into second, standing up. And a leadoff double for the 17-year-old junior national team member. 8th hit of the night for the Berries. It'll bring up Nathan Houston, who's 0 for 2. And here we go. We're going to get a visit to the mound to check in on Kagan Baker, see what he has to say. Zane Poland, pitching coach, out to chat. As Daniel Crabtree continues to warm up down the left field line. I believe that's 35, not 25. And it would be Crabtree. Who is a veteran of this team. He did not play in 2025, but in his previous 2 years with the Red Sox, it was 8-7 with a 4.03 earned run average and 83 strikeouts in 143 innings. 22 starts out of 25 games for Crabtree. In the bullpen tonight, and maybe needed, as Houston, first pitch swinging, fouls it off, strike one. Runner on second for the Berries here in the bottom of the 7th, trailing 3-1. Houston was 7 for 30 during the regular season against Regina. This one's lifted into left field. Coming on and making the catch knee high is Rain Kreklowitz for the first out on that line drive. So now Nash Nichols, who's been on base twice, doubled in the 2nd inning, walked and scored in the 5th inning with the help of a stolen base and an Ethan Murdoch base hit. Baker unofficially at 92 pitches. Again, his season high was 104. He also had a 100 pitch outing. Those were his first 2 starts of the year. Line drive right field. That'll ball in, base hit. Killshaw around third. He'll come in and score. Nichols is trying to make it into second, and he does. Hustle by Nash Nichols. Right out of the box. He put that one into the gap. Of course, the outfield grass here, very long and slows the ball up. The outfielder able to get to the ball in good time, and the throw was pretty good, but Nichols able to slide underneath. And we are going to get a pitching change now as Braden Cobb, the head coach, is on his way out to the mound. So 2 doubles, drive in a run. Nash Nichols with a run batted in. Makes it 3-2, and that's the end of the line for Kagan Baker. A very strong outing for him, 6 1/3 innings pitched. He's still responsible for the runner on second in Nash Nichols, but he allows 9 hits in 6 1/3 innings. He struck out 7, and I believe he only walked the 1, and that would have been Nash Nichols back in the 5th inning. As we pour back through the scorebook, indeed that is the case. Baker faces 27 batters and unofficially throws 93 pitches. Giving way to Daniel Crabtree. Crabtree, as mentioned, did not pitch last year in the league for Regina. From Marietta, Georgia, coming off his senior year at Point University, 6'2", 195 pounds. Crabtree with a record of 2-4 and a 6.34 earned run average this year. was more of a starter this season than anything else. But he has been in the bullpen a few times this year. This is he had 13 regular season appearances. .55 in the third innings pitched, allowed 71 hits, 51 runs, 39 of them earned, struck out 34, walked 19. Daniel Crabtree on in relief, and he'll face the top of the order in Brock Laird, who's 0 for 3. Let's see what right-hander Crabtree brings to the game. Bounces the first pitch in, and a good grab by Daniel Castellanos as Nash Nichols was ready to take off to third if it got away from him at all. Ball 1. Ethan Murdoch on deck. He's 3 for 3 with a run batted in. Crabtree looking at the runner at second, Nichols. 1-0 pitch. Laird fouls it off onto the screen. 1-1 the count. Crabtree with a pretty lively arm. Good fastball there. More action down the left field line in the Regina bullpen, just in case. 1-1 pitch. Bounces away and back to the backstop, and Nichols will get the third, and the tying run now is just 90 feet away from home plate. A wild pitch. 2-1 the count to Brock Laird. Two and one the count. Infield in. Breaking pitch. Castellanos, as he gets a few feet away from him, but not going anywhere from third, is Nash Nichols, and the count now 3-1 on Brock Laird. One away in the bottom of the seventh, a runner on third. 3-2 Regina with the lead here in Game 1 of the East Division semifinal. Laird, fly ball, center field. Montz coming over, dives, makes the catch, but Nichols will score easily as Montz picks himself up off the turf. It's a sacrifice fly, and we have a tie ball game at 3-3. It'll bring up Ethan Murdoch. Murdoch has hits in all three at-bats tonight, and a run batted in. First pitch inside from Daniel Crabtree, ball 1. Down the left field line, it is now Murdoch with a little pop-up in the infield, and that'll be the third out as it's caught at second base by Jalen Myers. But the Berries respond with 2 runs of their own in the bottom of the 7th inning. 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no Regina errors and nobody left on base. As it's 3-3 after 7 innings of play, you're watching Berries baseball on Flow College.
For more than 25 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Access Storage. Try 4 weeks free. Details at accessstorage.ca.
Heading to the top of the 8th inning here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Just about hit the 2-hour mark of tonight's game. Minute short of it, actually, 1:59. We're moving along at a pretty good clip. That's what happens when you have well-pitched game, though. You're going to move along quickly. Wesley Shackelford back out in the mound for the Berries. Took over in the 7th inning from starter Zachary Laundreville. He'll face Ian Montz, the center fielder, catcher Daniel Castellanos, and the third baseman Brady Bye, hitters 2, 3, and 4 in the Regina lineup. Montz 0 for 2, walked and scored back in the 6th inning. Swings and misses at the first Shackelford offering, strike 1. That one stays outside, 1-1. 1-1 pitch, down low, 2-1. Shackelford's from Texas, and it says up there on the Berry fun fact that he can speak Spanish. Foul back by Montz. 2-2. That one almost seemed like it bounced first and then came up. A different type of a foul ball. Notice it because it was practically right back at us. So it's a ball, 3-2 on that pitch that was in the dirt. Full count pitch coming up to Ian Montz. Shackelford out of the full windup. Fastball on the inside corner, called strike 3. Ron Shuchuk, the home plate umpire, rings him up. That's the third strikeout of the appearance for Shackelford, and the Regina batters have struck out 13 times now tonight. Sure. Out of town. Thank you, Mark Campbell. West Division semifinal games 1. Okotoks at home leads 10-5 on Energy City in the top of the 5th. Sylvan Lake up 6-1 on Lethbridge in the bottom of the 6th. And here's one. Medicine Hat leads in Moose Jaw 9-7 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Called strike on Daniel Castellanos, the catcher. Slider up high, 1-1. Castellanos is 0 for 3. Reached on an error, though, back in the 3rd inning, or back in the 6th inning, and scored. Shackelford's 1-1. Slider again outside, 2-1. Two-one pitch fastball up high, now 3-1. Fouled off, out of play over top of the first base bleachers. And a full count now to Daniel Castellanos. Brady Bye on deck. Bye as dangerous as they come. Tied for 5th in the league in home runs this year with 13. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. 4 strikeouts out of 5 outs recorded by Shackelford. And as I say, here comes Bye, who's dangerous. 67 runs batted in, which was second most in the WCBL behind Jake Hiramoto of the Swift Current 57s, who led the league in home runs, set the record for home runs in a single season, and had the 82 runs batted in as well. It's a pretty fair summer as Bye swings at the first pitch changeup, cued it foul towards the Regina third base dugout, strike 1. It actually bounced off the backstop towards the third base coaching box. Fastball inside to Brady Bye, 1-1. Second baseman Jalen Myers on deck for Regina. The 1-1 pitch to Bye. Breaking ball, down low, 2-1. Well, Shackelford's shown him pretty much everything he has in the arsenal. What does he come back with here on 2-1? Change up, low, 3-1. Fastball, called strike 2. Home plate umpire Ron Shuchuk can be a little deliberate with that strike call. Kind of keeps you wondering. Here's the full count pitch. Hit on the ground. One hopper taken by Laird at short. The throw across in time. And a 1-2-3 top of the 8th inning for Regina. No runs, no hits, no Barry's errors, and nobody left on base. After 7.5, it's Regina 3, Saskatoon 3 as you're watching Barry's baseball on Flow Call. Pretty good crowd on hand here for Game 1 of the best of 3 East Division semifinal at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, 1,663. Seeing a very competitive ball game, tied up at 3-3. Starting to really cool off now. 16 degrees Celsius, 63 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy. Darkness has fallen as we're just after 9 o'clock. And the wind, again, just continues to go down to nothing, west-northwest at 5 kilometers per hour or 3 miles per hour. So there's going to be no wind-aided balls hit into the outfield for home runs tonight, or at least for the rest of the night. Daniel Crabtree back out for Regina to pitch to the heart of the Barry's order. Giles Salinas, Mason Rell, and Gavin Panks. The second, third, and first baseman hitting 3, 4, and 5 in the order for Joe Carnahan. Salinas 1 for 3. Singled back in the 4th inning. The veteran Crabtree. First pitch inside, ball 1. That just missed. Again, Salinas. Talking with him after the game on Wednesday, 29 times he was hit by a pitch during the regular season. He'll hit this one on the ground. Big bounce. Shortstop comes up with it. The throw on to first and a good... No! The stretch. He was off the bag. According to the first base umpire, Scott Mills, Carson Cox did the splits, and the foot came off the bag, and Salinas is called safe. So it's a first baseman error? Okay. So the go-ahead run for the Berries is on first on the first error of the night for Regina. It'll go to the first baseman, Carson Cox. That play had a little bit of everything. It had one of those next-gen Patch at Cairns Field hops. But the shortstop, Jake Fowler, stayed with it. And in his throw, close play, and Carson Cox's foot came off the bag as Salinas crossed the bag. Ball 1 to Mason Rell, who's 0 for 3. Breaking ball outside, 2-0. Game 1 very much in the balance here. Late in the game. Down low, 3-0. Down the left field line, David Gordon warming up for Regina. Salinas at first, the 3-0 pitch. That's a 4-pitch walk. And now runners on first and second with Gavin Panks coming to the plate. And we're going to get a pitching change now as head coach Braden Cobb is coming out to the mound to get Daniel Crabtree, and this will be David Gordon coming on to pitch for the Regina Red Sox. 2/3 of an inning for Crabtree. Didn't give up a hit. Responsible for the 2 runners on base. No strikeouts. 1 walk. He faced 4 batters. And threw 13 pitches. That'll be the line on Daniel Crabtree as David Gordon now comes into the ball game. Gordon, a 3-2 record with 4 saves, a 5.06 earned run average this year. In the regular season, Gordon made 17 appearances, most of them out of the bullpen. 37 1/3 innings pitched. He allowed 45 hits, 25 runs, 21 of them earned. He struck out 39 and walked 14. Right-hander David Gordon, 6'5", 240 pounds, out of La Mesa, California, coming off his junior year at Arizona Christian. He'll face Gavin Panks, Josh Henson, and Aiden Kilshaw. As the Berries, with 2 men on and nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th in a 3-3 tie. Game 2 is tomorrow night in Regina at Curry Field at 6:05. If a 3rd game is needed, it'll be back here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field Sunday night at 7 o'clock. Out of town, bottom of the 5th, Okotoks 10, Energy City 5. Sylvan Lake leads Lethbridge 8-1 in the top of the 7th, and also in the top of the 7th, Medicine Hat up 9-7 on Moose Jaw. Fans stomping, clapping, trying to get this going. Corner infielders playing on the edge of the grass. Panks squares to bunt, pulls it back, down low, ball 1 from Gordon. If Panks is going to bunt, it has to be towards the 3rd baseman. Make him field the ball. As I'm betting on Salinas winning a foot race with anybody to the bag. Again, show bunt and take it back, ball 2. Josh Henson on deck. Salinas at second. Rell on first with nobody out. Panks again squares. 2-0 pitch. Bunted. Foul up the 3rd baseline. Strike 1, 2-1. Panks disgusted with himself for not getting that down. It's easier said than done sometimes. Especially in today's baseball where not a lot of times is it happening. 20 years ago, if you didn't get it down, you wouldn't be around very long. Brady By at 3rd base, at the edge of the grass. This time it's bunted towards him. By up with the ball, throws it, and stretching and making the out at first base is the 2nd baseman, Jalen Myers, but the runners advance. Salinas to 3rd, Rell to 2nd, and they'll bring up Josh Henson. So the fundamentals executed there by Gavin Panks. And now Henson, who's 1 for 3, a single in the 5th inning. And as hot a hitter as there's been on the Berries down the stretch, gets an opportunity, although now he's intentionally walked. And the fans boo, but This is as sound a strategy as you can get because now you got a force play at every pace, including home plate. Brings up Aiden Kilshaw, who hit a ringing double off the right center field fence back last inning and scored a run. He's 1 for 3. The strategic wheels are turning here. The gears are turning on both benches. As here's Kilshaw up with Salinas at third, Rell at second, and Henson at first, and the first pitch up high to Kilshaw, 1-0. One away. Shortstop is over to the almost in behind second base. Kilshaw fouls that back off of the catcher's mask. 1-1. Corner infielders are in on the edge of the grass. First baseman Carson Cox, third baseman Brady Bye. Middle infielders back at double play depth, and the shortstop Jake Fowler is almost right directly in behind second base up the middle. Kilshaw has proven he can pull the ball. Gordon asks for the signs to be redone. Now he has his pitch. 1-1. Kilshaw, little looper down the left field line, but that's going to be foul. And the count is 1-2. Nathan Houston is on deck for Saskatoon. Quick conversation just out in front of the plate between pitcher David Gordon and catcher Daniel Castellanos. Simon Hyatt, the PA announcer, wants the fans to make some noise. And they respond. Now, on Shuchuk with an indication of 2. Timeout or whatever the case may be. Gordon set to deliver 1-2. Now he'll throw over to third to Brady Bye, and they're going to call a balk. A balk ball. And Salinas will score, and Ron Shuchuk indicating, I'm making the call. So did the base umpire Marcus Erlinson, and Shuchuk will come over and explain to Braden Cobb why it's a balk. And it's because there was the delay in there. He started to go and then sort of double clutched and then finally threw. You have to make it in one full motion. You can't double clutch and kind of delay. So the Berries are out in front 4-3. The other runners move up. Rell to third, Henson to second, and now the infield comes in with the Berries up 4-3. Kilshaw with a home, long drive, right field, going back Rue, he'll watch it go. Home run, Aiden Kilshaw. 3-run home run. It's 7-3 for the Berries. He wears number 47. His initials are AK. That's an AK-47 flight out of the ballpark for Aiden Kilshaw and the Saskatoon Berries here in the bottom of the 8th inning. A 3-run home run for the 17-year-old. One away still here in the bottom of the 8th. That balk gave the Berries their first lead, and now it's been extended to 4 runs by the Kilshaw long blast. Ball 1 low and away to Nathan Houston, who's 0 for 3. That electrified 1,663 fans, to be sure. Ball 2. Low and away, ball 3. And I think David Gordon has become unglued a little bit as far as hitting the strike zone goes based on that home run that he served up. Got to try and battle back. 3-0 pitch is a called strike taken all the way by Houston. Nash Nichols on deck. Swing and a miss, strike 2, 3-2, full count on Nathan Houston. Zachary Landerville started for the Berries and pitched 6 very effective innings. Wesley Shackelford has retired all 6 he's faced since then. And the Berries have rallied twice and now gone ahead here in the bottom of the 8th. And there's a changeup in there for strike 3, catching Nathan Houston looking for the second out. So now it's Nash Nichols, who's been on base all 3 times he's been up tonight. Doubled twice, walked once, scored twice, and has a stolen base. Nichols has scored the tying run in this game twice. So Nichols officially 2 for 2 with his 2 doubles. Also has a run batted in. Swing and a miss at that changeup. Strike 1. That one gets all the way back to the backstop, but nobody's on base, so no big deal. 1-1 the count. The 1-1 pitch from Gordon to Nichols is fouled off over top of the screen. 1-2 the count. David Gordon, the 3rd pitcher of the night for the Regina Red Sox. Bounces that one in, 2-2. Top of the order, Brock Laird is on deck for a 5th plate appearance tonight. He had the sacrifice fly back in last inning that brought in Nichols and tied the game up a second time. Nichols swing and a miss at the changeup, and that'll be the inning. But what an inning for the Berries to go ahead for the first time in the game. 4 runs on 1 hit, 1 Regina error, and nobody left on base. After 8, last chance hotel suddenly for the Regina Red Sox. They trail 7-3 to the Saskatoon Berries as you're watching Berries baseball on Flow College. So Wesley Shackelford back out for a 3rd inning, looking to try and finish this one off. It'll be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for the Regina Red Sox to face him here in the top of the ninth, I should say. Second baseman Jalen Myers, left fielder Rain Kreklowitz, and first baseman Carson Cox, and they're all getting their first look at Shackelford as the first pitch to Myers inside, ball 1. Shackelford has faced 6 batters, retired them all, 4 of them by strikeout. Myers leadoff single as he gets that one over the head of Brock Laird into left field. That's hit number 4 only on the night for Regina. It'll be Rain Kreklowitz now, the left fielder, 1 for 3. Singled in the 4th inning against Zachary Landreville. Down the right field line, Brooks Jones is warming up now for the Berries. First pitch stays outside and high, ball 1 from Shackelford. Pitch count is up over 30, 33 unofficially. Down low, 2-0. And now Dustin Mulliken, the Berries pitching consultant, comes racing out of the dugout to come out and chat with Wesley Shackelford. Fastball in there for a strike. Following the quick chat with Dustin Mulliken. 2-1 the count as some of the leather lungs now get started with the Go Berries Go, or Let's Go Berries. Pitch down low, blocked by Killshaw, 3-1. Three and 1 to Kreklowitz. Fastball on the inside corner for a strike, and it's a full count. Nobody out here in the top of the ninth. Jalen Myers, the leadoff man, on with a single. Full count pitch. Called strike 3. 5th strikeout for Shackelford in this appearance. 15 strikeouts by Barry's pitchers on the night. Up comes Carson Cox, who's been a victim twice of the K. 0 for 3 overall. Slider outside, ball 1. Rinna Reese, DH, is on deck. He came up in the 7th inning against Shackelford. There's a strike to Carson Cox, 1-1. Shackelford came into the game in the 7th, and Regina pinch hit Reese for Mateo Pierre in the DH spot, which is up next. 1-1 pitch. Fastball called strike 2, 1-2. One-two pitch. Breaking ball, called strike 3. 2 away. Regina down to their last out here in Game 1 of the best-of-3 East Division semifinal. And it'll be up to Rinna Reese, who struck out against Shackelford back in the 7th inning. First pitch called strike. Actually, it's not Rinna Reese, it's Reese Rinna, according to the. Hitting 200 during the regular season. He's behind 0-1 in the count. Hit in the air, left center field. Nathan Houston over. He'll make the catch, and that's the ball game. Game 1 of the best of 7, or best of 3 East Division semifinal goes to the Saskatoon Berries. For Regina in the top of the 9th inning, no runs, 1 hit, no Berries errors, 1 runner left on base. 7-3 to final for the Berries over Regina. Game 2 goes tomorrow night at Curry Field in Regina. The Red Sox, the defending champions, have their back to the wall early in the postseason. They have to win tomorrow night in order to force a Game 3, and that would be back here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field on Sunday. But a Berries win tomorrow will wrap it up. As that is your final tonight, 7-3 Saskatoon over Regina. We'll come back and wrap things up in a moment as you're watching Berries baseball on Flow College. Game 1 of the your final unofficial they committed 1 error. Is Daniel three fans. At Next Gen Patch. Looking to possibly all the games. Season tape. Guaranteed there'll be. You have been watching